Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. This is my final broadcast until next September. I wish to express my personal appreciation to all of you who have taken the time to write letters or postal cards or make telephone calls expressing appreciation for the weekly broadcasts. I wish for each of you a full and restful and creative summer. Because tomorrow is Memorial Day, I have chosen to read several poems having to do with some aspect of this particular celebration. As the overall phrase covering what I shall read, I'm using two lines from Herman Hagedorn's poem about the unknown soldier. And these lines are, "We died, but you who live must do a harder thing than dying is, for you must think, and ghosts shall drive you on." The first thing that I'm reading is from John Drinkwater's Abraham Lincoln, and Lincoln is speaking. "I beg you not to harass yourself, ma'am. I too believe war to be wrong. It's the weakness and the jealousy and folly of men that make a thing so wrong possible. But we are all weak and jealous and foolish. That's how the world is, and we cannot outstrip the world. Some of the worst of us are sullen, aggressive, but clumsy and greedy pirates. Some of us have grown out of that. But the best of us have an instinct to resist aggression if it won't listen to persuasion. You may say it's a wrong instinct. I don't know. But it's there, and it's there in millions of good men. I don't believe it's a wrong instinct. I believe that the world must come to wisdom slowly. It is for us who hate aggression to persuade men always against it and hope that little by little they will hear us. But in the meantime, there will come moments when the aggressors will force the instinct to resistance to act. Then we must act earnestly, praying always in our courage that never again will this thing happen. And then we must turn again and again to persuasion. This appeal to force is the misdeed of an imperfect world, but we are imperfect. We must strive to purify the world, but we must not think ourselves pure above the world. And the next that I shall read is from the Arizona poet of the desert, Badget Clark. This is about the Civil War. My father prayed as he drew a bead on the gray coats back in those blazing years when the house was divided. Bless his old heart. There never was truer or kinder. Yet he prayed while hoping the ball from his clumsy old musket might thud to the body of some hot-eyed young Southerner and tumble him limp in the mud of the Vicksburg trenches. That was my father, serving the Lord and his country, praying and shooting wholeheartedly, never a doubt. But now, what about me in my own day of battle? Could I put my prayers behind a slim Springfield bullet? Hardly, except to mutter, Jesus, we part here. My country calls for my body and takes my soul also. Do you see those humans herded and driven against me? Turn away, Jesus, for I've got to kill them. Why? Oh, well, it's the way of my fathers, and such evils bring some vast, vague good to my country. I don't know why, but today my business is killing. And my gods must be luck and the devil till this thing is over. Leave me now, Lord. Your eye makes me slack in my duty. My father could mix his prayers with his shooting, and he was a rare, true man in his generation. Now I'm fairly decent in mine, I reckon. Yet, if I should pray like him, I'd spoil it by laughing. What is the matter? And then this by Edna St. Vincent Millay, written when she was a young woman, and as I understand from an article which I read concerning her many, many months ago, she herself is alleged to have repented the mood of this poem. Of this fact, I'm not sure, but I state it because I feel that it should be said. And the poem is called The Conscientious Objector. I shall die, but that is all that I shall do for death. I hear him leading his horse out of the stall. I hear the clatter on the barn floor. He is in haste. He has business in Cuba, business in the Balkans, many calls to make this morning, but I will not hold the bridle while he cinches the girth. And he may mount by himself. I will not give him a leg up. Though he flicks my shoulders with his whip, I will not tell him which way the fox ran. with his hoof on my breast. I will not tell him where the black boy hides in the swamp. I shall die, but that is all that I shall do for death. I am not on his payroll. I will not tell him the whereabouts of my friends, nor of my enemies either. Though he promise me much, I will not map him the route to any man's door. Am I a spy in the land of the living, that I should deliver men to death? Brother, the past word and the plans of our city are safe with me. Never through me shall you be overcome. I shall die, but that is all that I shall do for death. And finally, this from John Bunyan's, Mr. Valiant for Truth. After this, it was noised about that Mr. Valiant for Truth was taken with the summons. And he had this for a token that the summons was true, that his pitcher was broken at the fountain. And then he said, my sword I give to him that shall succeed me in my pilgrimage, and my courage and skill to him that can get them. My marks and scars I carry with me to be a witness for me that I have fought his battles, who will be my rewarder. I shall die, but this is all that I shall do for death. I am not on death's payroll. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer.